So happy Friday, everyone. Here I'm Greg Dixon with Total Traffic and Conversion, and Betty Withrow, Roy Dickan, John Waller, and Bonnie Sue Dixon. So
Bonnie
anyway,
Sue.
Bonnie Sue, yeah. So she has a
That'd
number
be
of
what she'd be
aliases, but
called in North Carolina.
we won't get her. We won't get into that now. So we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna put a little overlay here about what we're going to talk about today. So we have presented this a number of times, and we've been developing this. It's probably many of these things are 2 or 3 years in the making, and this is what we call the Conversion Alchemy Power Kit. And the main components, basically, the idea that represented here is your golden offer, the golden egg. And I think we've been preaching, we've been saying this over and over again. You have to have a really good offer. You have to have something that somebody wants, and you need to present it in a way that people will take it. And that's a challenge. But if we can get to that point, then here are the ways we can get traffic to your offer. Um, Roy's going to talk a bit about the conversion alchemy leads a little bit later. That's an AI driven system that targets people and can target regions and pulls people into a list. And we will talk about some success that we've had this week with an email campaign that comes out of that. And then the rest of what we're talking about here are a lot of those are what I would say is magnetic marketing approaches, basically blog posts, social media posts, landing pages, to basically get the word out everywhere organically. So if somebody's looking for something you offer, wherever they look, there you are. And we do video presentations. We do a lot of broadcasts and things like this. We do interviews. We create custom videos for people. And this is my thing. I'm going to throw this in as webinars. I've really come to believe that webinars for the right product are can be very effective. So we're adding it to the package. That's my bonus I'm throwing in. And then Betty and I help people publish books and other things, online courses, and that's the lead magnet thing. That's can be really good for building your list and converting people. And then John's background is in on hold audio recordings for offices, and so we'll have a discussion of sort of generalized audio marketing. And anyway, I think we should start, Roy, with a celebration of conversion alchemy, because there are a lot of moving parts to this, and it's been a bit of get all the parts to talk together and work, and we actually have it now. So do you want to describe what you've done with your dentist client?
Yeah, well, what we're doing is we're using a different method for getting leads for dentists that has ever been used before. And right out of the gate, it works well. So the way we generate the leads is the same that we do for everybody, in that we want to know who your ideal client is, and we go after that particular person. And the way the system works, the AI method finds people who are actually searching for what you're offering. And in this case, it was dental crowns and implants. And anybody in the geographical area that this dentist wanted to have new patients from, they the AI picked up who was searching for these terms. Now, the interesting thing is, this was kind of a test, and we didn't want to do 100 leads on day one. See, pretty much whatever numbers you want, if there are that many people that are interested in what you're offering in the territory that you select, which there are for dentists. So we wanted to try it rather than just, open the thing up and see how many we get. So we tried 10, and it was in less than 2 hours, we got 10 leads. So if we would have left it open for a half a day or more, who knows how many? I guess it would have been over 100 leads, which may be more than a dentist really wants in a small period of time, because you could only handle so many patients, on a day or even on a week, depending, for crowns and for implants. He's got 4 dentists that can do this stuff, but still, if you get 10 that quickly, 100 would be a bit much. So anyway,
we've got something that works. You're gonna book them on the calendar moving forward. So it's
you got it. And the thing that's good about this system, and it's the one that Greg put out there and showed you, but the beginnings of it are what Betty and I really do, along with Greg's help, to actually bring these patients into a funnel that has a consistent email stream going out to them every few days. So you not only end up converting some of the leads on day one, but 3 days later, you may get another couple. And the thing is, you really never want to stop this, because when you buy a lead, it's for a lifetime, or could be for 10 years. It may not be a lifetime. It may only be 10 years.
Roy, and if the practice has 3 locations, they can take care of those folks.
Say that again, John?
If that practice, let's say you're talking about Charlotte, and the dental practice has 4 locations, they're going to be able to get them on the calendar, taking care of this week, moving forward. They'll be fine.
Well, then we could turn it up, but we wanted to test it.
Yeah.
And Greg did a great job of putting all the technical issues together. And the beautiful thing was it worked like a charm. So
excellent.
Yeah. So Betty and then Roy worked on, well, there are 2 things. Roy worked on the keywords in order to target the people. And then Roy and Betty worked on the email sequence. And I think with this one here, we've got we're A/B testing the subject lines. So
yes, we are.
So the first one of the first 16, we've got 4 opens, which is pretty good, considering it's really considered cold email at this point.
Yeah, there were actually 10 or 11, and we got 4.
Oh yeah. Part of the 16 were us testing, I guess. We
don't want to count the tests. Although we did open them, but we're not going to count them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's that part. So that's really, really good. That means that the system works. So whatever it is your company is, if we can put this system in place and start getting some leads into your system, and hopefully, the next thing will be how many people. The real measure is how many people actually become patients in a dentist thing. And if you're doing, we're also starting a pilot project in the real estate investing need, but we're in early days of that. But that's going to be what they want, is people to make an appointment to become a passive investor or a partner in investments, real estate investing. So that's the next thing. But really, this can work for most businesses.
And I might add that there's nobody else doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, this is where to get it. We're the ones that have built it and perfected it. And we're really happy to be able to do this for you.
Yeah. And I think we should bring in, we have a very interesting combination of services. And one thing that John brings to it is the on-hold messaging system for offices. He's got a lot of experience with dental offices, but what he does will work with any larger office with a phone system. So maybe you can talk a little bit about what you're doing with that.
Absolutely, yeah. Greg, thanks for mentioning that. The 3 things I do for any business, and especially dentists, first off is patient education messages. We turn on hold time on the phone into patient education message for the practice. And the second thing is I do VoIP phones. So, for example, this is a Rove 30. This is the Polycom Rove 30. This is a cordless phone that works off the internet, and you could put somebody on hold on this. The range on this is up to like 900 feet. It's a voice over internet phone. I also do desk phones as well. And the third piece I do for dental practices is Weave. Weave is a system out of Utah. What they do is they will give phones to the practice, and these phones get a phone number, and they work with your dental practice management software. And that's why it's called Weave. It weaves everything together. So what will happen, let's say Greg calls into a practice and that's his dentist. There's going to be a pop-up on the screen, much like an iPhone. It's going to have all of Greg's information on there. Plus, there's going to be another pop-up, let's say, for his wife and his kids saying, your wife hasn't been in here in 3 months. She's due for a cleaning or owes us money. All that's going to pop up on the screen and weaves all the information together for a dental practice. So those are the 3 things I do to help make a dental practice more effective. Patient education messages, phones, and then the Weave system as well.
That's fabulous.
Thanks.
It's great. And Betty and I are we're kind of content marketer. We like to write a lot, so we do quite a bit of blogging, and so we put out a lot of blog posts, which goes with what Roy's specialty is with niche domination, is get things listed in the search engine. So we have a few things we pay attention to, the keywords and the description and the subject line, and we can get things at least that Google can find pretty quickly. The other thing that Roy's an expert in is Google business profiles, app maps, and getting, which is especially useful for a dental practice or somewhere with a physical shop, is when people are using Apple Maps or Google Maps, that it pops up a listing of where they're at with a link to the website and some articles and posts and photos and things like that. So that's part of our comprehensive marketing strategy. And where Bonnie comes into this, she may be wondering, is she's been doing a lot of posting, social media posting on LinkedIn, Facebook, that place. And so that's part of the strategy. A lot of the things that the content that could go into an ad or a blog post can also be posted on social media, or various things, either standalone or an image with a link into a blog post, all sorts of things. So that's part of our comprehensive strategy, and that could lead into some paid advertising, paid boosted posts, that kind of thing. So we're kind of following the magnetic marketing thing that Dan Kennedy and company put through, is we have multiple ways of getting the message out and multiple mediums and getting people in to your offer, your golden offer. So Bonnie, you want to talk a bit about?
Well, I wanted to mention, I love the multi-pronged way that you're touching, because I feel that the social media is where younger people hang out, for sure. And then it can be education pieces going out. It could be meeting your staff. That's a fun one to do. People like to know, like, and trust people. And along with that, postcards are still amazing. It's 100% open rate. People cannot not look at it. And so that's another part that I do the play in of with the messaging that we already have. We can repurpose it for the social media and for postcards. And it's worthwhile to stay in touch with your clients that way as well. That can be done like 4 times a year. And then social media can be done weekly. And when people see you there all the time, they know you're in business. So that's my 2 cents for that.
Well, thank you, Bonnie. I missed that on my list of things. Yes, so that's print assets, really. You know, the postcard, but anybody, dental offices for sure. They're print assets, and we talked a couple of weeks ago about a bistro that what they would need, and that's very much signage and coupon books, brochures, all that kind of stuff, print stuff. So we've included that in what we can offer. So I'm going to go back to this. We've been talking about dental practices, and we've also been talking about real estate investors. So one of the things I think are powerful that will work for real estate investors won't work for dentists are webinar, like video presentations and sort of meetings or discussions and things. And that's extremely powerful in the real estate investing field. I was at a meeting one time and somebody ran a webinar and invited, and they had, I don't know, there weren't a lot of people, 10 people attended, but he raised $500,000 in investments out of those attendees. So it could be very powerful. And many speak to sell people will sell a lot in a short presentation. So any other comments here? Anybody out there have a question from the audience? Comment?
Well, I would like to reaffirm the value of everybody who's on this team, because we have some very experienced experts here. And as Greg was pointing out, we've worked the bugs out and got a system up and running, and it's showing results. So I congratulate us on persevering to getting to the point where we are having dynamic case studies that we can offer to our audience.
Yeah. Nothing speaks better than proven results, right? And so, we're getting there. Yeah. And so any other?
Yeah, I just want to bring up one more thing. The leads that we can bring people are so good that the open rate is, in this case, 100. I mean, not the open rate, the delivery rate was 100%. And with other people that are doing this as well, it's averaged 98, 99%. So this is really something you're going to find very few lead systems that can produce that kind of a percentage of deliverability. So that's the other thing we add to this. So you not only get a really good open rate, but with all that deliverability, the open rate is worth so much more.
And it's just really hard to do now. Really hard to get through the gatekeepers. So we've taken a lot of steps to try to get through the gates keepers, and it's working. So that's great. So John texted me that I need to add a few more things. So the next round of that little infographic, which I'll put up on the screen again, if I could find it. Yeah.
Thanks, Greg.
Here. So we need to add a few more things to this. So the next time we do this is going to be a little bit more. So we're a full service marketing agency, really. There's a combination of things that you're not going to find anywhere else, a combination of skills that you're not going to find anywhere else, and we're pretty reasonable and we have fun. So I guess the invitation is, if you want to find out how we can help your business or what you're trying to do, reach out. We're all on LinkedIn. If you're probably watching this on LinkedIn, could be Facebook or maybe even X. But
Greg, it'd be kind of cool if you had a total of years of experience on the bottom of.
Oh, wait a minute here.
Well, we stopped doing that when we got into 200 years of active experience, and they said, "Wait a minute, that sounds bad." So, yeah, we sound like zombies. I don't know. Yeah, but
still alive after all that.
Yeah, we do. I'm pretty sure I am the youngest one in the room.
Probably.
Yeah, and and you know, I'm getting pretty close to 50 years experience doing this kind of stuff. So we've got yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
We've been around.
We've been around. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen a thing or two, and we're ready to work with you and make it really come true.
Yeah.
Dog roll at the end of the week. What can I say? I don't apologize.
Yeah. And I think, and the other thing that's different about this is there are a lot of people will tell you what you should be doing. And you know, maybe some guidelines and a roadmap and stuff, which we will create a roadmap, but really we're talking about it is for mostly we're going to do this for you, and the with you part of it is mostly clarification of what you want to achieve out of it, what your goals are, what your message is. Betty especially will spend some time with the client to understand what their voice is and make sure she understands what they're trying to achieve out of it. And then after that, Roy and I pull our hair out if the technical stuff doesn't work. and you know, it's, you know, sometimes I smile, but my patience level isn't infinite, and sometimes I'm, you know, if I'm talking to somebody trying to explain how to configure something, I'm, you know, if I find myself reaching for the taser, you know, so it's better for us to do it. So,
Yeah. Plus, nobody really wants to be taken down in the weeds for all the stuff that we can explain. It's just better to let us do it for you.
Yeah.
And you just enjoy the results.
Enjoy the results.
Fun.
And that's especially true of dentists. I think they don't want to spend any time with any of that stuff either.
Well, they don't have the time. Yeah.
You know, they either want to be in the, you know, doing their practice or on the beach, really. Like, that's why we have the footsteps there. That's where dentists want to be, in the sand. And we can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So any last comments before we go on to our happy Friday? Because it's definitely past 5 o'clock where John and Roy are.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Not yet? Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, it is for me.
It is for Roy.
Oh, I guess maybe Roy's the only person in Tequilaville.
That's next to Castroville.
Right.
So don't be shy. Come on, let's get together. Let's talk about it. We can show you exactly what it's possible for you, and we can tell you in as much detail as you could handle how we can do it for you.
Yeah. Come on down. Take your shoes off. Take a walk in the sand. It'll be fun.
That's right.
That's it.
Well, I think that's good. I don't have any pressing questions from the audience here, and I think it's probably a good place to stop.
Yes.
Hope you got something out of this.
Yeah. And in the replay, this some fanatic out there will be playing it slow motion kind of. Well, maybe not.
And others will be speeding it up, but you know,
Yeah.
they may see it 2-3 times at different speeds.
It's never going to end. Okay. Anyway, reach out for us. You can go to the website, totaltrafficconversion.com. There's sort of booking links all over the place, but you can reach out to any of us on LinkedIn and, maybe Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn's the place where we like to hang out mostly. Mm-hmm. And
Yes.
All right. Well, happy Friday, everyone.